Hi everyone, back to the more YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day, and it's all about our midfield sensation, Bruno Guimaraes. That's right, there's news going around about Bruno being unsettled. Does he want to leave? Is his agent working on a deal? Blah, blah, blah. So basically we're just jumping a little video to say fact or fiction. Now I'm going to go straight for fiction. I think this story is utter bullshit. I'm going to call it that. It's come out in a Catalan newspaper, you want to call that, Barcelona basically, who obviously want to sign Bruno Guimaraes clearly, and their media is whipping up a frenzy to try and make that so. Saying that apparently Bruno is unhappy at Newcastle and he's desperate to get out apparently. All these videos of him wearing retro shirts and saying he loves the Geordies and how his dad's a local celebrity and all that obviously don't count for anything, do they, unless these guys don't look at YouTube. If you want to go check it out, there's loads of them there, and while you're there, subscribe, lads. But yeah, so this to me is just media whipping up fucking noise really, and mischief in the media to try and unsettle one of our key players really. But they're talking about how Paris Saint-Germain may be a more likely destination for him, and the quote his agent, who's actually the wrong name of his agent, is some Gianluca somebody, something like that, but his agent I believe is Alexis Malatova, I think it is. So they've got the wrong name for the agent for starters in that piece, so that tells you that it's basically written on toilet paper in all fairness, which I don't believe. But I mean, it has led a lot of people to be a bit concerned about Bruno's mindset and where he is, and I suppose it does warrant a little bit of a pause for thought, I would say, in terms of the thought of the day. So I mean, obviously when Bruno signed for Newcastle over multiple teams that were after him, Arsenal, reportedly Real Madrid, Manchester United, all these teams were interested in him apparently. So when he signed for us, he was obviously given assurances about certain targeted achievements of the football club, and Champions League would have been one of them because he always talks about Champions League. He was born to play Champions League, he loves it, but to be fair, Newcastle have achieved that target way ahead of schedule in the first year. I'm pretty sure that even in Bruno's wildest dreams, to go and join a team that was 19th in the table, to then finish 4th and be in the Champions League, I don't think you would have thought that whatsoever in his first year. And you can't really imagine, Bruno and all the character and everything we're seeing about him kicking off the season's kind of fell away a little bit here, because he's played in some massive games. He's played against Paris Saint-Germain at the Parc des Princes, which we were really lucky to lose. We smashed PSG at home, played against Milan, Dortmund, huge wins, against, Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea along the way, and we've played really well as a football team for spells of this season. We've had a couple of dodgy results, suffice to say. I think injuries have become a bit too much for us, and the squad is really being tested to its capacity. But I think for me, that would be the only reason that Bruno maybe is feeling the season's kind of tailing off a little bit. But I don't think he looks like the kind of lad to throw his toys out with pram and spit his dummy out. Now, do I think Bruno Guimaraes might be sold in the future? I do, 100%. I really, really do. Which is concerning and disappointing as well, because we thought the days of Newcastle being stepping stone clubs were gone. But you always have this danger with South American players, especially when those two clubs are concerned. And I'm talking about Barcelona and Real Madrid. We've seen it with Liverpool before. Luis Suarez, arguably the best centre forward in the world at the time. Liverpool scored goals for fun, ridiculous goals as well, by the way. Went to Barcelona, had turned by Barcelona. Same with Philip Coutinho, who was Liverpool's main man. So these things do happen. Gareth Bale leaving Spurs to go Real Madrid as well. Slightly different Liverpool, I suppose, because where Spurs were at that particular time. But Bruno Guimaraes will not stay at Newcastle, for 5 or 10 years. I think people who are thinking that, maybe need to just have a little dose of reality in them sugar puffs and just wake up a little bit, because I don't think he will be, unless we are an elite side at that particular point, and I'm talking Manchester City style elite. Then he might stay for 10 years, because someone like Erling Haaland ain't going to leave Manchester City in the current state that they're in. People talk about Real Madrid and stuff like that. He ain't going to leave. He's going to stay at Man City because they're probably one of the biggest teams in the world, if not one of the best teams in the world, with the best manager in the world. So if we're in that position in 3, 4, 5 years' time, and Bruno, is signing a new contract, maybe he will stay at Newcastle. But, I think he does remain one of those assets that's probably sellable. If you look around in terms of the midfield, and I'm not trying to put him in the same league as Bruno by any stretch, but how well Louis Miley's done at 17 years old, if he continues to progress at this rate, in the next 2 or 3 years, we could have a fantastic footballer on our hands in that midfield. And then it could be a position where, similar to Foden and David Silva, where you'll let him go because you've got the quality in behind, in terms of Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva at Manchester City. They were happy to let David Silva go because they knew they had that quality coming through. And we could be in the same position with Bruno, whether it be Louis Miley or Sandro Tonali or anybody else, you know, we could be in a position where we say, actually, we can cash in on Bruno and we can let him go. But in terms of this stuff going around the media at the minute, I think it's all bullshit. It's all noise, mischief. I just think, you know, they're trying to whip up a story that isn't there. I think we're going to have this with Bruno. We're starting to see little shades of it with Isak, Rio Ferdinand pipping up saying, oh yeah, bruv, I think Arsenal should sign Isak, bruv. He's a fucking bellend, you know. Concentrate on your own team, mate. They're fucking falling apart. Your manager's shit. He's a shit man manager. You're an awful side. You're full of mercenaries and full of shit houses. Concentrate on your own team called United, not the one that we support, because Isak ain't going nowhere, mate. Isak is key to this football team. I think Bruno would be sold before Isak. You look at the spine on that side, you've got Botman, Bruno, and Isak, and these three players are key. Darren Neal said we wouldn't be, against selling an asset. He didn't mean those three. Those three are the fulcrum, are the blueprint, are the foundation of what the new Newcastle United will look like in years to come. Players who might go, Wilson I could see going in the summer, Miggy I could see going in the summer, Lascelles will probably go, you know. Players like that, I could see them being sold. Even Sean Longstaff, 100% profit for academy graduate. You know, if he's not getting in the side and they think they can get 25, 30 million quid from him and reinvest it in key areas, they might very well take that opportunity and do that as well. But I don't think Bruno, Botman and Isak are going anywhere in the next 2 to 3 years. I may be wrong, but I don't think that the club are that stupid for it to happen. So these stories are all utter fiction, bullshit, fantastical nonsense from media outlets just trying to sell column inches, get reactions like I'm just giving you now, and I'm sure all of the Newcastle fan content channels will be giving the same reactions as well. But if Bruno goes, as long as there's quality to replace him and the money's reinvested, then that's just the breaks and that's just the way football goes. But he won't be going in January. I don't think he'll go in the summer. I think it's a big summer coming for Newcastle United. Lots more money to spend with the seller, Adidas money, and financial fair play may even have an adjustment, i.e. factor in inflation and increase those losses from 109 to 200 plus million like it should fucking be, not what it was 5, 6, 7 years ago. Sort it out. It's a shit rule and you're a shit house, Masters. But that's my thought for the day on this situation with Bruno. Pure fiction for me, not fact. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. We always like to hear from you. Subscribe if you can. We'd always appreciate that. We're closing in on 6,400 subs now. We want to go to 7. We've got a great price to give away for 7, so make sure you help us get to 7. Recommend us to family and friends, guys at work, friends at work, whatever you want to do. Come and listen to Evermore. We're still very much a young channel. We're growing, and thanks to you guys, we're growing a great community as well. We'd love you to be part of it. If you want to be a member too, you can click that option. It's all free content, but if you want to give a little bit back, support me and Mark and help us bring you this content, please do so. Have a cracking day wherever you are. Vamos, Bruno. Stay here, mate. You know it's the place to be. We'll catch you later. Cheers.